Right, thanks for joining me. Let's have a look at some of these coins. So again, I'm just going to make one video to incorporate quite a few of these coins just for time saving purposes. So let's get started. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin it actually failed to make a higher high, and actually you could consider this a lower low as well. This is on the 4-hourly time frame. Let's keep our eyes peeled. I'll be very surprised to see it go any further than 10,000, but if it were to start touching 10,000 again, there is a chance we could start to make a lower low. I think it's more likely that we're going to bounce, if anything, on this 200 EMA right here. An educated guess would tell me that we're going to go a little further down before we see a bounce on this one. And when I say a little further down, I'm talking 10,000 before we, 10,000 max. Okay, so I know that's quite a long way to go financially, but really for Bitcoin, 10,000 before a bounce indicator suggests we've got a bit more to go on the downside. Let's have a look on the 1 hourly. Let's see what that looks like. So 1 hourly actually trending beneath all moving averages actually, and indicators suggest more downtrend. Let's have a quick look on the daily. So yeah, probably if we don't find a bounce on this area here, so around 10,700, we could fall a bit further down to 10,000. If 10,000 were to break, we'd be back down to 9,800, and if that were to break, we actually could begin to fall all the way to just around 9,200. Nothing surprises me, but currently the chart does look droopy and indicators are down. So yeah, maybe we do have a little further to go. We'll see what happens. So bounce levels, 10,500 support, then 10,000, 9,800. 9,500, 9,200. So we'll have to see. All of those should receive some kind of bounce unless there's a dramatic sell-off. Volumes looking, it's looking okay. To be honest with you, it is looking okay, but perhaps maybe getting a bit of redistribution out of this at the moment, which is good for the alts. If we can continue to stay around 10,000 or just around in the 9,000s. We might start to hit a bit of an alt season. Anyway, let's move on. So we go to Celr now. So Celr's doing okay for itself. It's recovered from its pullback yesterday. We've got quite a large consolidation it fell into yesterday, but generally speaking, it is moving up ever so slowly. We're here with the Bitcoin pairing. So just looking at it now, it looks like he's actually got a bit of movement to go. Probably find a bounce around here, around 177 satoshis, and tether pairing. Tether pairing's looking a little messier. Let's have a look. It is looking a little messier, but it should actually start to pick up a little from here. So we are just above moving averages here, probably finding a bounce right about where we are now, and probably a more significant bounce if it were to fall, because all these moving averages are kind of converging into one area. So around about 717, so 1.7 cent, we should find a bounce around there. Let's have a look at the volumes low, but indicators generally suggest a bit more movement. Let's have a look at the hourly. Yeah, I think this is going to push a little higher throughout the day, and just back on the hourly for the Bitcoin pair. Right at the top there actually, so they could actually find a break. Actually, could actually cause a bit of a spike. Actually, if we can, probably, yeah. I believe that we're about to come down just very, very shortly, but probably find our way back up to this previous high of around 177 satoshis, maybe a little higher, perhaps throughout the day, and maybe by tomorrow. Everything's depending on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin decides to rally up again, then obviously things can change. Right, so let's on to the next one. So one of my favourites here is the BitTorrent token. So BitTorrent token actually, so we're on the 4-hourly chart here. So we did have this huge spike up here actually. This was a really big move for it. and then a big sell-off as a result. Heavy rejection last night from this move. It did. It pushed its way all the way up in the space of an hour and was rejected quite heavily from that. Not to worry. I see a lot of I'd call this an accumulation zone, to be honest with you, with BitTorrent token. Really, we have found a lower point here, but it's generally holding its value. When Bitcoin's rallying, it kind of floats around this area. When Bitcoin's falling, it also kind of falls around this area. So I believe it's waiting to do a big move. Actually, I do feel that it's likely to try this here again and probably break it. So we're more likely to see a move similar to this one, I think, quite soon. But currently it's wanted to come down a little. So I think we might start to see a spike with this perhaps towards the end of today. Probably up to 0.00135 again. And maybe a little higher. We'll have to see if we get a rejection like this one on that first level of resistance, then maybe this sideways trend will continue, perhaps maybe into the weekend. Right then, so the Bitcoin pairing with that is also looking a little droopy. It's a shame, really. We were hoping for this EMA to make a move to the upper. I mean, it still may do with Bitcoin falling, and if BitTorrent can sort of up its game a bit, then this 200 EMA will at some point curve to the up. The good thing is we've got low Satoshi pair in here, so it's not likely to fall as fast as Bitcoin. If Bitcoin falls, then our Satoshi value raises, and that gives us a nice big boost. And if we can create a trend similar to this, and it doesn't take much. It just takes. If we were to get 4 or 5 Satoshis, we'd be bent right to the up. And hopefully that will give us a decent boost with the tether pairing. Right now, we're waiting for Bitcoin to do its thing, hopefully fall a little further, but the MACD looks like it wants to push this up a bit further, so things are looking okay for BitTorrent token. Right, Matic then, so let's have a look at the tether pairing to start with. Found a new low yesterday. This new low was almost the same as our previous one, but technically it was a little higher, so that might suggest that this has become our new bottom, and this is ever so slightly a higher low. Let's not get too excited. We know what Matic's like. Matic never fails to disappoint, but you've got to put things into perspective, guys. I mean, look, this is where we were before. Yeah, I mean, let's put it into perspective. These moves are big moves, okay? This is where we came from. This is where we went to. This is normal. So whether this counts as a high or low, is ever so small, but it technically is one. So maybe we can build upon that. We are being rejected from these moving averages, however, so we're probably going to struggle to get to around 2 cent. At the moment, the volume isn't great, actually. The RSI is moving up, so this will probably see a bit more move to the up, actually, for throughout the day. But I'm not expecting great things from it. There's no real reason why we should make big moves on this one. But we'll see how that pans out. And let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin pairing with Matic. Now this one's interesting, actually. I actually feel like when you look at the Bitcoin and Matic pairing, you can actually see a bit more sense of it. So let's just have a look at the chart. So we had this descending line here, measuring out our lower highs, and this was the trend that we wanted to break, and which we did break. And things could have been great for it, but we were rejected at the 200 EMA, which is also bending down, which is unfortunate. But now it looks like we found, this could just be a coincidence, but it does look like we found support on that descending trend line. So hopefully this isn't another descending trend line. Well, it's still the same one, but hopefully this descending trend line isn't now our actual support, because this might suggest on the next consolidation we could actually fall lower than our previous low. of 120 satoshis. We'll have to see how it pans out. If Bitcoin falls, it seems to be bringing us down with it, but not at the same speed. So we're having an update today because we've had such big lows yesterday. So there are some buybacks, and obviously the difference between Bitcoin moving and Matic has created a higher Satoshi level. But really, for this coin, we need to get to above 190 Satoshis. Really, that we need to break that and turn that to a support. Right now, we are being rejected at these moving averages here, and we're not anywhere near the 200 EMA, which is sloping down. So it would suggest it would be a struggle for it to create another spike. And if there were to be another spike, it might trigger another sell-off shortly thereafter. Anyway, I will leave it with you there. Thanks for watching, and obviously thanks to those who donate. And I love all my subscribers, and I hope you all have a nice day. Thanks a lot. Take it easy. Goodbye.